Hello everybody, welcome to Food Plot and Forestry Friday episode 2. Now in the first episode, if you remember back last week, we were in the timber back here looking at our timber harvest. Now we're out in the food plot. And you want to talk about a beautiful plot for brooding turkeys. This is going to obviously be much more into our wheelhouse in upcoming years. Watch this. You see hundreds of thousands of grasshoppers in this buckwheat plot right now. If you listen, you can almost hear them dropping like rain. So what this is, we drilled buckwheat in this, no-till drilled buckwheat into this food plot, and it looks absolutely stunning. A few little tractor tire spots where obviously I skipped a little bit or missed my line. That's on me. But this is providing deer browse. We're going to roll this in as a green mulch and be able to plant back behind our fall crop, which will probably be a clover or a cereal grain plot. We do have some screening along the edges that you can just start seeing sticking its head up on the end of that. So that'll be some milo kind of edging to this. Got a couple of them that kind of got dumped in here and there as well. Just kind of fell in through the seed box. Got a little bit of it out here. And then look at the grasshoppers out here. Look at them all. Look at that. Beautiful place for turkeys to be bugging. I'm in the clover side of this food plot now. And this is where we talk about crop rotations and mixing up your food plots. Now typically we move this into 2 or 3 sections at a time, depending on how it works out. This is just a beautiful clover plot right now. This has had 2 haircuts this year so far. We just have some of this going with the seed right now. So we have a bunch of clover that is seeded out and ready to go. Head over to the seclusion cage and see. So we move the seclusion cage every time we mow this, just for a good transparency of what it's going to do. So this is after the last mowing, which was probably in June at some point. I'd have to ask Dad when he mowed this. So if we look at this plot, you know, it doesn't seem like there's that much appreciable growth difference until we get over here to the cage. And look at this. Look at the height difference in the cage. Look at that clover height. You got some medium red, obviously, that's up, 2 foot tall, but over a foot, and then maybe 6-7 inches out here. Look at that. Absolute must for these plots is a seclusion cage. You can see all the nipped ends. They're keeping this mowed really nice, almost like a lawn, obviously. And then, like I said, we got buckwheat here flanking this. This will be really good. We do have an ash tree that's hanging on. Crossing our fingers. We'll see what this one does. We didn't take it in the timber harvest. Wasn't going to get the logs out of it anyway. And then this, like I said, buckwheat will be rolled into a crop of probably wheat or oats mixed with, or maybe brassicas, depending on how this flowers out and seeds out and how we deal with timing. So timing wise, we're probably going to be closer to a brassica planting, but this was drilled right in, beautiful, beautiful planting of this. Great browse, and there's tons of bugging in this. There's forage in this for whitetails, and then I'm also working on building back our soil a little bit with this buckwheat seed as well. So love this, love the county drill, love rotating my plantings and trying new things. The buckwheat going through a drill was new for me. It's the first time we drilled buckwheat. I've planted it before. In cover crops, and then look at monarch butterfly landing on a milkweed. You can't make that up. I've been waiting here all day for this. Not really, but how cool is that, guys? How cool is that? Going from milkweed to milkweed. Awesome. I love it. I love it. So, all right, I'm going to tool up a couple of our cameras we got on this field. I'm not going to put any in the timber or the new logging roads yet, just because we're going to be in there in the next week or so, getting those cleaned up. When Trevor gets back around, we're going to get some of that done up. So, yeah. All right, guys. So there's your Food Plot and Forestry Friday. Our tip with this is going to be rotationally planting your crops. leaning into some of these non-traditional food plot crops, but stuff that folks have been using for decades and centuries, really. Stuff like buckwheat, and clovers, and other stuff like that. It might not be the big, sexy brassicas or cornfields, even though we do plant those too. These have a place and a great holdover, and this is just a great crop adjacent to another great crop, and rotationally planting these so you're getting the most out of your soil and you're getting the best benefit for the wildlife. Not just about the hunting season, but also giving them good forage and great turkey brooding. I mean, this is a great turkey brooding spot adjacent to the timber. That's why we decided to go through with this and put on some buckwheat in this plot this year as a holdover rather than just go winter wheat and let this be a grass field. This is a lot better for brooding habitat. So I think we're going to rotate in a lot more buckwheat here in the upcoming years, coming out of probably corn, going into annual crops the following year. So hope that, guys, inspires you. Just retooled up this camera. It's one of my favorites. I'm hoping to get Terry Tate on this camera to let me know he's still hanging around, or Tuning Fork. I passed Tuning Fork out of this field last year. I passed him in a lot of places last year. So Tuning Fork's on the list, and I'm hoping I get his picture here, or Terry Tate's. Both of these bucks, they're not going to break any record books. They might not even make New York Big Buck Club, but they're cool, big old deer that I can't wait to hopefully see this upcoming fall and have encounters with. So that's the update, guys, up here for our second food plot and Forestry Friday video. And thank you all for tuning in. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I will get this right by the end of this series. And comment, let us know what you think of this and what you're doing on your property, or have any questions about doing something on your property. We'd love to help you and love to talk to you more about it. Again, Ben Williams of Whitetail Properties, Finger Lakes team with Tim Kent, Heather Kent, and myself in New York State. Also co-host with Nate on the 100 Proof Whitetails podcast. And I will catch you guys all next time here in the field. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you later.